What's good, YouTube? Y'all see the thumbnail. We back with part 2. We still gonna be covering the north side. Well, that's already talking about one of the biggest hits, the north side Gangster Crips, all the way to the smallest hit, the LRC, Little Ruthless Criminals. We're gonna talk about the last 9 documented gangs on the north side of Stockton. Now, like I said, there is a lot of smaller ones that's not documented. If we let some of your hoods out, go ahead and drop in the comments, let us know. That way, when we come back and do these videos again, your neighborhood will be mentioned. Now let's go to Kenfield. Now this would be home to the original Gangster Crips, and they've been around in Stockton a long time. As the name says, original. That means they was here first. Now you can catch these boys wearing the blue KC hat to identify where they from, Kenfield Crips, also known as OCG. Now you can find these boys located over here right by townhomes, which they do have a big allegiance with. Since the 90s, you know, they've been cool. But if you over here in Kenfield and you at Weber's Park and want to play some basketball in Stockton, California, you better make sure you bring your hooping shoes. Now, as of today, it still is a high crime rate area with a lot of murders, burglaries, and just petty theft in general. Now, with them having an alliance with the Townhome Gangster Crip, Northside Gangster Crips, we're going to put this area of Stockton, California on a grimy scale of 1 to 10. We're going to give it a 10. This is a no-go zone area. If you're not from here, please do not go there when you're visiting Stockton, California. It's not a place you want to end up. Now let's take it to another hood in Stockton, California, but they would claim allegiance to the red card. And no, they're not Bloods. This is a Hmong gang. Yes, you heard me, a Hmong gang, better known as MOD, Menace of Destruction. Now they are a Minneapolis-based gang, but they would make their way all the way to Stockton, California, where they have numerous sets, but mainly on the north side.
Their code demands not only secrecy, but violence. They call themselves MOD, Menace of Destruction.
Now, with them being a small but deadly gang, it would be a high crime rate area where they live, and they would be surrounded by both Nortenos and both Bloods. Now they all do claim red, so it would be kind of tricky to tell who's who, but if you're from any of these areas that are being shown right here, you would know. Now we're going to get this on the grimy scale of 1 to 10, an 8. This is a no-go zone area. It is still highly active over there, so we please warn you, when you're on the north side and you see a bunch of Hmong guys wearing red, just don't go. Now we're going to take y'all to a crew a lot of y'all might not have heard of that go by the Badland Bloods, better known as Badland Boys. Now you can find these guys located over here off Kelly Drive. Now if you know Stockton, you know Kelly Drive and Bancroft. That's not a place you want to be caught, man. They do have 2 other strongholds. One will be right off a country club out west, and another one would be Van Busker Park. But we're here to talk about the north side of Stockton, where you can find these boys and where you don't want to end up by yourself. Now they are a blood clique, mainly Cambodian. You can find these boys at Sandman Park. That is not a good park. Is there not a difference between these guys that bang black rags? Yes. If you see any hats that's black, would it be? It's mainly not for Bloods, it's for the Badland Boys. Now on a grimy scale of 1 to 10, we're gonna give it a 4. Yeah, it is a safe zone. Feel free to, when you come to Stockton, California, take your kids there, have a picnic, have a good old time at Sandman Park. It hasn't been active for years. Now let's go to a Crip hood on the north side of Stockton, California, that a lot of y'all might know because of this rapper right here, Haiti Baby. Now this hood would be the West Lane Gangster Crips. Now they are still active to this day, and they have been active since the late 1990s, being an old Crip gang. Now you can find these guys somewhere around here. As the name of their gang says, West Lane. And West Lane is a main street in Stockton that runs all the way from the north to the south side. Now with them having a lot of apartments like the Polo Runs and the Hamptons, which have been renamed, they would be also found at Cortez Park, along with many other hoods that claim allegiance to the north side of Stockton, and they would be right next door to their enemies, both Bloods and Nortenos. So as you know, it would be a lot of tension around these areas. Now with Northside being one of the biggest and them also having an alliance with the Northside Gangster Crips, also as well as Kenfield Crips. So on a grimy scale of 1 to 10, this area, we got to give it a 10. This is a no-go zone area. We are coming to Stockton, California. Now this area used to be known for bowling, West Lane bowling. You could go and have a good time with your family. But since the early 2000s, it's been nothing like that. Now these Crips over here are ruthless. We advise you not to go. Now let's talk about another hood in Stockton, California, which they do not have marked out on this list, but we're gonna let y'all know about these boys, man. The Panella Park Nortes and the Panella Park Crips. Yes, they do have two gangs that claim just this one area. Now it hasn't been acted over there in a long time. You could still see tag-ins, you could still see hit-ups. But as far as 2025, the beef with the Crips and the Playboy Sedaniels have died down. So on a grimy scale of 1 to 10, we gotta give this area a 4, man. It is a safe zone area. But let us take you to a zone that's not so safe, man. Now this gang has been ruling Stockton with an iron fist for years. It is a no-go zone when coming to the north side of Stockton. Please beware. Now they will be a Northaniel gang, roughly running Stockton since the 80s, also known as GUN, United Nortes. And man, they're one of the biggest, most deadliest gangs in Stockton, California. Now you can find these guys all over Stockton, to be honest with you, all the way from the north to the south, central, east, west. Now if you're from Northern California, you would know the Nortes ruler with an iron fist, which is, you know, nothing too surprising. But these ones in Stockton, they would be a EBK type of Northaniel gang, which means they kill everybody, man. So on Stockton Grammy scale, this whole gang, we're gonna have to give it a 10. Now like I said, they have been active since the early 90s, late 80s, and they still are active to this day. Now another Norte clique, also known as Barrio 14, which will be located on the north side of Stockton as well. Now them being the smaller Norte clique, they wouldn't be too active, but they do have major ties to the UN, and the rest are familiar. Now you can find these boys over here off Hammer Lane, Kelly Drive to be exact, mainly on Bancroft, but you can find these boys also on Valley Drive, and also posted up at Sandman Park like a lot of other gangs in that area do. Now with Barrio 14 being a smaller hood, we just had to let y'all know who they was. Now part 2 is dropping. We're gonna have to end this video right here. That will be all the hoods that they do have documented on a list on the north side. But we all know that's not all the hoods. So if you feel like we missed yours, if you want us to drop a part 3 to just the north side of Stockton, y'all let us know. But after this, we headed to the big bad west side and the southwest. Now we're gonna cover both of them hoods, them sides of Stockton, in one Pacific video, with the west side only having 3 to 4 gangs and the southwest having about the same. But that don't mean they're not deadly. As you know, in Stockton it gets down. Until then, it's mafia.